Hello, I'm Troy Cardinal. Please forgive me for the sound quality of my microphone. Today I will be presenting the topic of Carl G Jung's collective unconscious, and specifically the biological and quantum concepts of how information is stored and retrieved. So what is consciousness? There are many varying definitions of consciousness, but as for the purpose of this presentation, we'll define it as an individual's perception at any time. Example, your consciousness is fixated on this presentation, keeping you in the now. Therefore, you are perceiving this and interpreting it at a personal level, while your subconsciousness, or rather unconscious mind, is doing the same thing except at a processing level that yet to fully quantify. In addition to consciousness, it itself can be separated into an ascending order of upward progress. The separations are what Jung described as personal unconscious, followed by the collective unconscious. Personal unconscious contains knowledge that is not within or waking mind, either due to memory loss or repression. Jung described the collective unconscious as a memory bank, human experiences prior to our own, where bits of knowledge are then accessible and interactive to facilitate any member of the human species capable of inheriting such knowledge from the unconscious collective itself. They then proposed that archetypes, which are universally recognizable symbols and patterns of thought that induce a sense of overwhelming emotion, no matter what emotion that may be, are responsible for the connection and transmission of knowledge between the teacher, the collective unconscious, and the student, our waking mind, and our unconscious mind. So here's Jung's conceptualization of the unconscious collective, taken from our textbook, page 528. Here is some archetypical reoccurrence and their commonality. So here we see Hebrew, Tibetan, Native American, and Celtic Irish cross similarities, as well as Sumerian and Egyptian. Sumerian civilization, I believe, goes back 20,000 years before Christ, and I know the Egyptians go well back, at least 10,000 years before Christ. So these civilizations depicted the same symbology across different time and space. So in light of quantum psychology and quantum information processing, the archetypes could be more complicated than previously thought. Quantum information processing and quantum psychology infer that the information is handed down generation to generation via a biological component, with a communication process that is both intercellular and intercellular, being archetypes of biophotons. Biophotons exhibit the properties of light, acting in a wave particle duality to generate unique electromagnetic radiation. Unique wavelengths that interact with the photons of both our sun and universe. Because all matter exists in a quantum state, biological matter does so too, allowing information to be transmitted between the theoretical field of photons and the biophotons through nuclear magnetic resonance. It is speculated that since DNA is capable of immense storage, this is where data received is stored and utilized in such functions as the organization of the human brain in fetal development or cellular repair. Moreover, archetypes could be stored in the DNA, awaiting recognition from the environment. Therefore, the archetypes are passed down from the biophotons of past civilizations to the photons in our universe and sun, and back down to our current-day biophotons. Lastly, the archetypes would then have to exist beyond the realm of time and space, as they appear to have been congruent throughout history, essentially being kept in a storage accessible at any point in time. So what does it mean? 1. The information received and transmitted between human biophotons and the universal sun photons occurs. Second, it is because of the wave particle duality of nature, biophotons and photons display that they transmit data via nuclear magnetic resonance. Third, the storage ability exists beyond the realm of space and time. Although a field best describes how such an event could occur, there is no accurate description of the unconscious mind, so we cannot accurately depict how it happens. So here's a wave particle duality. The photon, this would be a light particle. This is biophoton immensity, shown from after an individual having a cigarette. This is the torsion balance used to measure the gravitational field today, where we get the constant of 9.81 meters squared 9.81 meters per second squared. Sorry. Biophotons in water. At the end of this slide, I put a link to a very good film on Nobel-winning work about how water has a memory. This is the depiction of Earth's magnetic field. Earth has a Schumann resonance, its own frequency that it generates. I depict that this is probably close to what the frequency that the Schumann resonance would be. And ask the question, is it possible that the Earth itself acts as a storage locker for the data rather than the sun or the universe? Okay, an experiment on measuring the unconscious response to archetypes. So, in a lab study done on 23 healthy individuals measuring physiological and autonomic response to Jung archetypes, suggested that human beings are innately wired to perceive and comprehend archetypes. So they did this using small film clips from movies like from Lord of the Rings and other stuff to invoke a response as viewers depict both images and sound. The study was originally intended to provide feedback for the unconscious mind and archetypes for the purpose of advancing biological computing, but only furthered the need for more studies of the unconscious. So they did this to try and figure out the unconscious's response to the archetypes so they can better put it into their computing algorithms, but they realized they need to do much more further study. And paralleling concepts about the unconscious collective. So another concept presented by Minsky focused on what is called the Everett interpretation and quantum concepts of consciousness. Suggested that consciousness and all its depth exists in a layered multiverse. So, as the mind is only capable of focusing on one conscious thought, we are unable to perceive the other countless possibilities that exist, even the only choice we have consciously made to make up our current reality. Furthermore, the possibility of acquiring information through altered conscious states, such as meditation or a trance, is possible, as well intuition and intellectual knowledge are believed to come from the similar concept of the unconscious collective. Some more further concepts about the unconscious collective. In an article by Shurich, suggested the concepts of human consciousness and universal consciousness as a field that spiritual growth enables a connection between the individual and the universal consciousness. However, the concept focused on morphic fields which have some physical evidence to back the claim of universal intelligence, and these fields are responsible for spiritual evolution. And picture 9 is an advanced conceptualization of wave particle reality. So it's this. I figured this picture would put a better conceptualization for the wave particle reality that I previously presented. And lastly is some links. So John Hagelin, PhD, Science Self. He talks about the quantum string theory and how it's relation to consciousness. So essentially a consciousness string theory. And then he talks about quantum entanglement, which one of the papers I used to make this presentation actually touched upon, but I could not find the space to put it in. The Water Documentary Prize, Water Documentary Nobel-winning prize. Graham Hancock, The War on Consciousness. So this is an actually very interesting one. He talks about going down to the Amazon and learning with a tribe and ingesting hallucinogens. But it's very interesting. Here is the Quantum Experiment at PBS Spacetime Studios. These are two very good videos, PBS Studios. Some biophotons from this video is presented by the son of the guy who rediscovered biophotons. And new experiments on consciousness. So this is from a Russian scientist who recently discovered that thoughts affect matter. Alright, thank you everyone, and have a good day.